Okay, we are beginning our 6th class called Where Does Your Food Come From? And it's in the series from our How I Strengthened My Immune System After Cancer. And this is an important topic, and I have Cassetta here with me.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, hello, and we don't have, Cassetta's the only attendee this time, which is fine because we're recording, and so if you're watching this afterwards, great. If not, and I mean, if you are watching this after the fact and you would like to attend a live show or a live class, just RSVP to lsmallnaturals@gmail.com, or you can, if you see it on social media, just message me, let me know, and I'll give you the info that you need. So Cassetta just got here a little while ago, and you mind if I mention you were a little stressed out?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, she's going through some rough spots with work, and you know, stress is a very dangerous thing that we all deal with, and we all have different ways of dealing with it. And it's funny because when she came in, she said, I'm trying to work on how I, deal with stress. And I said, I'm doing the same thing because it's just not good to be stressed out. So that's really important, especially when you want to stay healthy. Stress causes a lot of illness and disease if we let it get to us that much, So, but eating a healthy diet can help with the stress, believe it or not, because it helps you with your mind. It helps you just feeling better. There's so many reasons why it's good to eat healthy and make sure that you're getting all the nutrients that you need. And I admit, I'll be the first to admit, I don't do this as, every single day like I should, because I do go off track sometimes. And when I do, I definitely feel it.
Yeah, feel the difference. Absolutely.
Definitely feel the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, this class called Where Does Your Food Come From is really important, and we don't really think about it much. But when we know where our food's coming from, if we know that it's organic, if it's pasture-raised, grass-fed, beef, things like that, we know that we're getting quality foods.
Right.
And when you get quality foods into your body's going to respond in a positive way. Yeah, so there's many places that we can get organic and healthy foods. It's not, it's a lot better now than it was before. A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of these organizations that have gotten together that, like, for instance, I wrote them down, like the Weston Price Foundation, Organic Farmers Association, and the Cornucopia Institute. There's so many out there, but there are 3 that I really like and follow. So these organizations are always fighting in the background to make sure that the organic farmers that say they're organic farming, that they use organic farming measures, that they're actually doing what they say they're supposed to be doing. Because believe it or not, there are many people out there that don't do what they say they're doing, and they don't do what they're supposed to do. So you have to have some watchdogs out there to make sure, because we do pay a price for organic food. It is more expensive a lot of times. Right now, I can't say that it's all that much more expensive because of the inflation that we have. But, overall, organic food can be more expensive. But it's not more expensive in the sense that it keeps you from getting sick which means less trips to the doctors, which means you don't have to get medicine and surgery and all that. So the more healthy we are, the lower our insurance premiums would be. If people were more healthy, we wouldn't be paying these high premiums. And that's just the truth of it. So ask any insurance company. So anyway, so a lot of these companies, these organizations, I should say, you should really look into them and sign up on their email list, get on their email list, and they'll give you updates and send you some great information. Some of them even have recipes and, you know, things like that. And it's just good to be part of that environment, you know. It's very encouraging, and I just find that it's very helpful to me. It's a good reminder to, like, if I get an email and I see that, it makes me feel like, oh, I gotta keep on track here. So there are, like I said, there's many places now that we can buy organic foods, and my favorite store, Martindale's, is one of them. They have a wide variety. They're a little supermarket, so to speak. So when you go food shopping, you can just go there.
Right.
You don't have to go anywhere else. So they have everything from supplements, and the class that we did 2 weeks ago, we talked about where the food comes from, and some of the people there, Dale and Mark and Nancy, we got to speak with them, and they did a great job sharing things with us, and Dale gave us information on how Martindale started, and and it basically is all about providing healthy organic food to people. That's really what it comes down to. So, and they've done a great job, and you can tell they've done a great job because they've expanded, I don't know, 2 or 3 times since I've been going there, and that says a lot. So, so Martindale's is one place you can get, like I said, everything. They even have gluten-free options. They have vegetarian, vegan, dairy-free, anything you can think of. And the one thing that they do is if you have any specialty items that you need, if you don't see it in there, ask them because they may be able to get it for you. So that's something. Yeah, that's something that's really,
I like that.
Really good. Even supplements and anything really. So the other place is this farm, and it's called the Family Cow, and they have a big farm. I think they're out in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And what they do is every Tuesday, I don't know if it's every Tuesday or Thursday, but they drop off and deliver at different drop-off points. So if you make an order, say, I don't know, whatever their deadline is for that week, say it's Tuesday, then they deliver on Thursday. And that's kind of how they work. They have a ton of different food products. A lot of stuff they make there. They'll make their own kefirs, and I think they make their own kombucha. They make, these are beverages, like fermented beverages. So they have cheeses. They're all raw cheeses made with, their fresh milk, and they have farm-raised eggs and soy-free. Everything is, that place has everything that I would eat, except for, like, I don't eat a lot of pork, so I wouldn't eat the pork. But they do. They have, everything's organic. They're certified. And, they just have a ton of stuff. So whoever wants to get this, I just wrote this out to get it ready to send it out to everyone. It's an email that has links to the Family Cow, so you can sign up and create an account. It's free. It's very simple to order. You go online, they have it all categorized. You choose what you want, put it in your cart, you pay for it up front. When they deliver, I don't know what time exactly, I used to be 2 o'clock. You go to your drop-off point. There's various drop-off points, so you just choose one. They'll bring your stuff to that drop-off point, and you just pick it up. And that's it. It's really simple. So they have a really good system that they do. And so I'll give you the link, you know, if you just want, or you can just look it up, the Family Cow. And I think it'll come right up. You just click on it, and you can go from there. The other one is Friendly Farm, and I believe it's still in existence. That's the one that I actually used to order from most of the time. Almost every week is where I used to get all my raw milk, my dairy, some meats and chicken. They even have produce. The Friendly Farm is a co-op of like Amish and Amish Mennonite families that have farms out in Lancaster, and they all get together. So one farm might have produce, one farm might have chicken, one farm might have the beef, the milk, you know, things like that, cheeses. So that's why they're a co-op, and they have a wide variety also of different things. Now, I hate to do this, but we have to go. Rescue. All right, let's go.
It's upstairs. Mm-hmm.
Bell is home. Come on, bud. Get down. I'll just give you.
You got Bell?
Yeah. Hi, Belle. So, so anyway, with Friendly Farm, they do the same thing. So you place an order. Every week they'll send you the food list with the prices. You choose what you want. You send an email, and they have a specific time. Now, what they used to do is they would deliver directly to my house, the farmer, Aaron. Aaron is not doing this anymore, and there's another guy, what is his name? Where did I put it? Friendly Farm, Abner King. So, and I have his phone number, so you'd have to call him, get on the list, and then it would, you know, you'd go from there. So the prices at the Family Cow, the first place I talked about, is a little higher than at Friendly Farm. Not everything at Friendly Farm is certified organic, but you know that it is organic in a sense because they don't use pesticides and they don't use growth hormones and all that kind of stuff. They're just not certified, but some of them are. Some of their products, I believe, are, like their cheeses. I'm not sure about the milk, but it's all good stuff. And it doesn't bother me if it's not certified organic, as long as I know and I can trust the people. And we've known Aaron for years, and we've been to the farm. We've met his wife and his kids. So, you know, he used to have, actually, it was really neat. Him and the co-op of the farms, they used to have a big, huge shindig for everybody, all their customers. Wow. And they used to have it on a farm. And they had, it was really neat. My grandkids loved it. They had rides for the kids, like on the animals or the horses. And then they had these wagons that they had that the horse pulled. And I forget all the stuff they had, but they had all kinds of stuff. So you could buy stuff. And they had other vendors there that were Amish too, because there's a lot of Amish that eat a lot of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of them, and they don't watch their diet. But then you have, some that are very conscious and are very big into eating healthy and organic. So, like I said, if it's not certified organic, but I know that it is organic, I'm fine with that. I don't get hung up with that. So, again, if you let me know, you can email me at lsmallnaturals@gmail.com and just ask me for the email and I'll send it to you. It'll have the information if you want to look into this. The other place that's a good place to go is Lidl's. And
I used to work there.
Mm-hmm. Used to work there.
And shop there.
Yeah.
My whole checkbook.
And Lidl's has Focus Farmer chicken, which is organic and it is delicious.
Yep.
It really is delicious. And I've had others. I've tried others. Farmer Focus is the best one that I've had. Yeah.
The store.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yes. So they have that. They also have grass-fed and then grass-fed organic steaks, like beef, and they're really good.
And a reasonable price.
Yes, they're reasonably priced, and sometimes they have a sale. They also have ground beef. Organic, which is really good. Yes, and grass-fed. So, you have to watch because some of them say just grass-fed, and then you have to look. If you want the organic, it says organic grass-fed. So you just have to be careful that, whichever one you're looking for. So those are, just off the top of my head, those are the places that I go to that I would get my stuff from. Of course,
Aldi's. You forgot. Aldi's have it.
Yeah, I haven't been to Aldi's that much, but I have heard that they do focus on farmers.
Yes, and they have they have organic chicken and chicken breast.
And they do, yes. I don't know if I bought them.
It's really good. It's pretty good, yeah.
Okay.
I prefer Lidl's better just because of prices. But they do. They have even the noodles, pasta noodles. They have organic.
Okay.
I think their brand is Simple Choice.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And they have the coconut oil, the olive oil, and organic. I mean, they have their own little display, which is good and it's affordable.
Right. Yes. So, and that was the other thing I was going to say. They have, the produce that they have. That's the place where if I get the spring mix, it lasts the longest. Now, I don't know why, but it just does. Every single time I get it there, it always lasts, and it's fresher. So, and the prices are good, like Cassetta said. So,
if I can get to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's
and Whole Foods is another place.
Yeah. I prefer Lidl first, and then Aldi's. I like Aldi's, but Lidl's have a better fruit selection and vegetable selection than Aldi's. That's why I like Aldi's. Aldi's organic section is like this thin strip. It's not as big as Lidl. Right. So I feel like I'm getting more for my money from Lidl because they have the oranges, everything.
Yeah, they do.
Their own little. So. Yeah.
So the other thing is Whole Foods, and Whole Foods has some good sales. They're owned by Amazon Prime now. So if you have an Amazon Prime card or membership, then you get extra discount.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, and I'm.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Wow. So if you're a Prime member, you get extra discounts. And we do go to Whole Foods at times. It's not as close as Martindale's or Aldi's or Lidl's, but we will go out there usually, especially if it's on a Sunday, because Martindale's isn't open on Sundays. So if we have to go food shopping, then we go there on Sundays. Of course, Whole Foods is a big supermarket, and they have tons of stuff. But what I have noticed over the years, as things changed with them, And ever since Amazon Prime bought them, one thing I've noticed is they've gotten rid of some of the products that I like and that are very good. Mm. And they've changed the quality of some of their foods. And they also they used to sell raw provolone, which was delicious, and they used to have the sharp. Then Amazon Prime bought them, and then they only carried, it was a more mild one, but it was still raw, so we got used to that. That was fine. Now, they don't sell it at all. At all. So, and it's not just that. There's other products that's happened to. So, you know, I also noticed that in their olive, they have a big olive bar and peppers and stuff. And I did notice that they changed they used to use olive oil in those or use products that had olive oil in them, and now they've gone to a cheaper oil. Yeah, so I've noticed that. So I
haven't been there in a while. I used to go there and they made the seafood gumbo.
Oh, yeah?
It used to be so delicious.
Their prepared foods?
Yeah.
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 I haven't eaten any of their prepared foods that I really like.
Yeah, I used to get it all the time, but I haven't gotten it in the last 7 years or so.
Oh, yeah, it's changed.
If I go in there, I run in for things that I like.
Yeah.
Like because I've become so conditioned to like more indulgent of stuff that I like. And
right.
I don't before I used to buy stuff in bulk. I don't do that like big. I get enough. Because when you're buying stuff that's organic and pricey.
Yeah. You want to make sure you eat it.
Decision.
That's right.
Because when stuff goes bad, you have a whole conversation with yourself.
Oh, it's so true.
I do. I'd be like, no way we didn't eat this. Yep. I just was telling my daughter, I said, you asked for these blackberries. You know how much these cost?
I know.
And she said she forgot them. And I said, we can't do this. Yeah. We can't be wasting food. No. I said, if you know you don't want it, I have a thing with her. Rinse them off. Mm-hmm. Put it in a freezer bag and freeze it. Don't worry, I will make something out of it. I said, don't worry. Even if it's lettuce, I do that because I can just do a smoothie.
I started doing that.
My spring mix, I put in a smoothie. I just don't waste. I don't waste nothing.
Yep.
So that's my thing. And so we had some blackberries that went bad, and then raspberries and grapes, and I was like, oh, I just was having a conversation. Yeah. So I went to all these, didn't buy no fruit. He's like, what? I said, you just wasted. No, let's see. So I got her I got a spring mix, and I said, look, we're doing solids, because she likes solids with fruit in it.
Yeah.
So I got them so she can do it, and she didn't want to do it, so it went back.
Yeah, that is a great tip from Concetta. That anything that you're not going to use, put it in what I do is, I think I mentioned this before, I either put it on a flat tray, put it in the freezer. Now, something that I just did with blueberries and strawberries that I tried because I didn't have enough room in my freezer for a tray. Mm-hmm. So I got a little bowl and I put the blueberries and the strawberries together in the bowl, stuck it in the freezer, and they all froze individually. I was really surprised. Then I bagged them in a freezer bag, and it worked perfectly. Great, no problems. So yeah, and I started doing that too. I had some some spring mix that was going to go bad, and I put it in a freezer baggie, put it in the freezer, used it up in my smoothies, in soups. Yeah. You know, because I made some soup and I just put it in there, and I felt so good
about yourself, don't you?
Yes, well, I just felt so good that it didn't go to waste, and it was so and I said I am not doing that again, letting stuff go to waste because
I do that with broccoli too. If I cook a lot of broccoli, I'll freeze it, and then when I do a broccoli soup, it's like perfect. Buddy, we're being loving. Are you living loving, buddy?
Here, I'll just,
Oh. I'm listening with her too.
and yeah, she is. She's a crazy girl. She's in her tail is outside of her body and just along her. She can get at it, she grabs at it, gets it. She's staring at her tail moving. And grocery outlet is another place that you can get some organic stuff.
Yes.
I'm not sure where they get all their stuff though. I don't know, but you could tell by the quality of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, if you go to the supermarket, say, I'm not going to say any names, but if you go to a supermarket, a lot of times their organic produce looks horrible. And it's not, they shouldn't be selling that. So, but if you go to, health food store, if you go to a place where there's a lot of turnover, you're going to get a fresher product, so that's what you want. And you can ask the store where they get their food from. Where do they get their produce from? Where do they get the meats from? I know with Farmer Focus chicken, I looked it up, they come from Virginia and West Virginia, the farms. So Farmer Focus it's like a co-op. So they have a whole bunch of farms in Virginia and West Virginia that deal with chicken. And that Farmer Focus processes that chicken that comes from those farms. So they're all organic, and these are family farms, and that's why Farmer Focus is so good. It just really is. So you can look up, places, ask the stores, talk to somebody at the store, where do you get your produce from? A lot of times it can be, especially in the supermarket, it can be trucked from California all the way here, and then what happens is all of that exhaust and all the fumes, it affects the food. It can affect the food. So you just want to be careful, buy as local, as possible.
Yes.
If you can, that's another thing. There's also a co-op, and I assume they're still doing this, and it's near Newman College. You have to buy, it's like buying into a share of the whole crop of this farm.
Oh, wow.
And you buy the share, and then whatever they produce, you get a big box of stuff every week.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I've never done that, but I have known people that did that. So that is also a great way, and sometimes you might get, because my daughter did it with some co-op, I guess, near her, and she would get certain things. People get things, they don't know what they are, so that happens sometimes, and you just look it up and find out how to cook it.
Right, and try something new.
Yeah, I remember my daughter calling me or texting me, "Mom, what is this? And what do I do with it?" And it was, gosh, what was it called? It was a squash. I knew it was a squash, and it's a flat squash, sort of. I think patty pan, or I forget the name of it. But so you just look it up, find a recipe. There's tons of recipes on the internet, and she, I think she found out she liked it. They liked it, so
that's good.
Yeah. So knowing where your food comes from is just, it gives you peace of mind that that number one, you're supporting family farming, organic farming, and we want to support that. Like, I want to support that. Yeah. I want to support the little farmers.
Yeah. Because
they're the ones that are being crushed. And I'm going to tell you a story, and I saved this story for this. There was in Lancaster a family that owns a farm, organic farm. I believe they were Mennonite, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember all the details because it was a number of years ago. But what I do remember was, and I saw pictures, the SWAT team came early in the morning, before like 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that, raided their home. Yes. And I think he was arrested. And if I'm not mistaken, because I looked up, there were other stories similar, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this was one of the cases where Monsanto, which is a big producer of chemicals, and Roundup is their big thing, which is a heavy pesticide, and it's dangerous, in my opinion, and from what I've read. They also do GMO seeds. So there could be a farm next to a regular farm, conventional farm next to an organic farm. If the conventional farm is using Monsanto seeds, GMO seeds, and they're patented because they're genetically modified by Monsanto, because you can't patent a food.
Right.
You can't patent, supplements and things like that. But genetically modified products can be. So they had a patent on the seed, and they either had runoff or they had, the wind took it over to the organic farm. It grew in there. And what I heard, and I can't verify this and say that it's for certain, that they would have people from Monsanto going around checking organic farms to see if there was their seeds growing in the organic farm next to the conventional farm where they were using it. If they found something, they made a lawsuit against the farmer. They put a lot of farmers out of business. I saw documentaries. I saw these farmers speaking about it. So this isn't something that is, it's not fake news. So a lot of these farmers had to get lawyers. Monsanto, there was no, sir, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize this was happening. It didn't matter, because Monsanto's goal was to put them out of business. So that, if it wasn't their goal, they would have said, oh, you know what, that is something that you can't help.
Right.
So this is what this company called Monsanto does. If you go on their website, oh, they look like such a family, farm-friendly company, and they're not. And I called them one time, or I emailed somebody, and we were going back and forth, and I never got my questions answered. Oh. And I don't remember exactly what I asked, but I kept asking the same question, and they kept giving me the runaround, and I just eventually just ended it because it was just taking up time. But I had my answer, and I could see what they were up to. And there's a lot of people that may work there that don't realize what's really going on.
Right.
So it's not like, I'm not saying these people are evil, but what they're doing it's evil. To me, it's evil. No, and you can look up, and I think the Mennonite farmer that had his house raided, I think his last name was Miller, if I'm not mistaken. And he was like in Paradise, Pennsylvania, somewhere out there. So there were some of these organizations, these like Organic Farmer Association, I forget which ones, they were involved, and they were helping him. They were giving him support, and him and his family, and trying to help with the lawsuit. So that's why I feel very strongly that it's important to support organic farming and to support organic farmers. and farmers like the Friendly Farm, even if they're not completely, organic, certified organic, at least they are using organic seeds, they're using organic feed for their animals, and they're not, and they are doing like pasture raised. They're not a factory farm. And there's a lot of factory farms. And when you go to the supermarket, that's what you're buying for the most part. You're buying factory farmed products. And if you look online and you watch any videos or read any articles about factory farming, it will break your heart. And it's very disturbing what these people do to these animals. And that is not what God intended. So just beware, when you go to the supermarket, maybe read the labels, look at where, the products are from. A lot of times you might see that it is manufactured in a certain place. So it doesn't mean that the product comes from that company or that area. They may have it shipped in from somewhere else, and then they produce what they want to produce from it. So anyway, I just, just thought it would be important to have a class on this so that we can at least get the word out about where, what to look for and how important it is. And there's my husband.
It's me getting home from work.
So, any questions? Any thoughts? Any other thoughts?
Belle, get Belle.
Come here, Belle.
No, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Girl.
Thank you, Belle. You listen. It's so good.
And honey, we talked about honey before.
Oh, yes.
About how important it is. We talked about this at Martindale's, I think. So if you get raw local honey, it will help your allergies. Most likely, I'm going to say. So it helps your allergies because you're taking the pollen from your area and you're basically putting it in your body, and that's how vaccinations work too. And if you get allergy shots like I used to, they're putting in your body what you're allergic to help your body create an immunity to it. So having that type of honey that's local with your local pollen,
it helps you.
It definitely is helpful. So that's another thing. And I do know that there are, stores that do carry local honeys. And if you go online and you look up, local raw honey, and put your area, something might come up. So.
Yeah, and you have to watch with honey, because honey is one of the things that they import that's not organic, that they say. Some big one.
Yes.
I only get my honey from Martindale's.
Okay.
That's just me.
Right.
Because I trust the people.
Right.
Just because I did so much research into honey, and it's exhausting.
Yeah, it is.
By the time and they have documentary on it, on honey and stuff like that. I just go where it works. Martindale's works for me because they're honest people.
Yes.
And
that's important.
People. And it's very important when you're putting stuff in your body, because I use honey and lemon for cold for my daughter. And it works if it's organic, if it's what it says it is.
Yeah.
So I just get mine from Martindale's.
Yeah.
I do.
And if I ever feel like my throat feels a little funny, which is very rare, but there have been times where I feel,
like you're getting
something. Yeah. I just take a little bit of honey
and eat it right off the spoon.
Yeah, I just eat it right off the spoon, a little bit, not a lot.
And my daughter makes facial with it.
Yeah, so do I.
So she uses the honey and avocado, and she does little facials and stuff like that. So I get that honey. Now, all these does have organic honey that I use for tea sometimes.
Okay.
If, If I don't have the other one, I just substitute, but we don't use that on the skin or anything. I just drink it.
Okay. Yeah, so I have a clay mask that I make with bentonite clay, chamomile flowers, and I grind that all up so it's a powder, and then I add organic or the raw honey, a little bit of water, and I also, the last time, added some fresh aloe from my aloe plant. Yeah, and
my daughter loves aloe. She uses it as a moisturizer.
Good. And then I just put it on my face. When it dries, usually 15, 20 minutes, then I just take it off, and it's really nice. So, yeah, so that'll be a class one day, like skincare, natural skincare, because I've been using my own natural skincare that I make for years now, and my own deodorant and
You still do toothpaste?
I haven't done my toothpaste in a while. I have to do that.
I need to.
When I did,
because toothpaste is getting out of control.
I know. Oh,
I just was like, we're going to start using dirt to my daughter.
Well, when I did make my
like clay,
it's so much better, and it actually, I think the recipe that I have, I think it absorbs a lot of the bad bacteria in your, because I use the activated charcoal. That's part of my recipe, and the activated charcoal is absorbing. It absorbs, bad stuff. So
it helps heavy metals. Even if it helps heavy metal to come out the body. So that's really good. So.
Yeah. So I have to get back to making my recipe.
Yeah.
So are you videoing us? So, all right. So, and the other thing is, when you go to the store, always read the labels. If I don't read a label, I am more inclined to buy it. But if I make myself read that label, I will put it back if it has bad stuff. Now, the other secret is, if you can do this, and that's why my pantry is a little more bare than maybe most people. Try not to buy foods that have a box, a can, or a bag. And then it's more pure.
Dear God. That cat.
That's in the video. She's afraid of cats.
Oh, God, that cat.
That was Carson Wentz.
Carson just was staring me in the eye. I turned around and...
So that's a trick. And then, like Rich will say so many times, I'll put dinner out on the table or breakfast, whatever. He usually does breakfast. I do lunch and dinner most times. So I'll put it out and he'll be like, go ahead, you say it. You say it. What do you say when there's dinner on the table and you're like looking in the refrigerator?
Well, to me, we're out of food and there's nothing to eat. And all of a sudden I turn around, there's dinner on the table.
Because he's looking at what can he grab real quick from a bag or a box, and I'm looking at what we have in there that is mainly produce or grains, meats too.
You have some great ideas, let me add. Some things I wouldn't even think to make. That way, and Miss Lisa makes it like I'm eating dates. Just different things I wouldn't think to put together.
Right. Yeah.
Remember you made your stuffing? And I was like, oh, I don't eat stuffing.
Oh, at Thanksgiving?
At Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
And I realized I love stuffing.
Oh, it's like with Narissa.
Oh, good.
Narissa used to come over for dinner, and she'd be like looking at it and thinking, I'm sure she's thinking, I am not eating this. And we would tell her, just try it. If you don't like it, you don't have to eat it, but you have to try it.
Now she eats tomatoes, olives. I mean,
Now she loves
She's
it.
so versatile with her taste buds. She'll try new things.
Yeah.
It's so good. And you said try it Sunday.
And then try it Tuesday. An agent in an office that we used to
instead of Taco Tuesday, you can do try it Tuesday.
Try it Tuesday.
You reintroduce something that maybe they don't like in a different way. So what I did was, like, she didn't like no vegetables. Remember?
Yep. Nothing.
None. And it don't matter. I just was like, I give up. I'll give her what she wants. But Miss Lisa taught me about Try It Tuesday. And now she's like, she's a vegetable lover, a fruit lover. She barely eats meat.
Wow.
She's like, no, thank you. She does love sweets, though. So she said to me she needs to learn how to make organic and good sweets because she don't think she's going to not do sweets.
You should come over and we'll make those cupcakes.
She loves them.
With the dates, I have a recipe that I got from Martindale's in a magazine. And it's very versatile. And that's how I make my cupcakes and cake. So it is sweetened with dates and a little bit of maple syrup. And you don't even really need the maple syrup.
It's so good.
So, in fact, I'll show you. Let's go in the kitchen. Now, I didn't ice these. And the icing that I started making is a cooked icing with flour, and I use some of the einkorn flour. Whoops. I use some of the einkorn flour, and I use the quinoa flour, and I love that quinoa flour. So here they are uniced. Oh, they kind of stuck up here. What I did was I made some vanilla and some chocolate. So here's the chocolate cupcakes.
Wow.
And here's the vanilla. And this flour icing is, it's an icing, actually I remember my sister making it when I was a kid for Easter. She used to make the bunny rabbit cake, and I think she used to make this flour icing. And it's real fluffy, it's really good. So I made it a couple weeks ago, and when I made these before, and it was just delicious. And then I used the monk fruit sweetener with the erythritol. I didn't use like regular sugar. Okay. You don't need powdered sugar. So, it's less wear and tear on your body from the sugar because it's, it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet, this kind of icing, but it's perfect. And it does have butter in it. So I think I used part butter and part coconut oil. And it's delicious. But you can even make these and make them like muffins. Eat them like muffins if you want. So with this recipe, you can make a spice cake with it because it does call for cinnamon and cloves. So you can do that if you want. I omitted them and I just added the vanilla. You can put nuts in them. Banana, you can make a banana nut muffin. You could put orange rind, a little bit of orange juice if you want, or extract, and then put some cranberries and make orange cranberry muffins. They're just so versatile. You could put chocolate chips in them or in these, raisins, whatever. So apples, you could do an apple raisin if you want. You could put crumbs on top and make that kind of muffin. So it's a very versatile recipe, and they're delicious. So you want to try one? Sure. You want to try a little bit of both? All right. So let's see what Cassetta's reaction is. I'll grab a plate. So they're still a little cold. So we got defrosted easy. I don't know why I took them out at the same time. Okay, here we go.
This is the
vanilla, the plain. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is sweet.
And there's no frosting on it even. You like that too, Carson?
This is so good.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you some to take home. And that's the chocolate. And the only thing I did with I added some cacao powder. And I also added some...
I'm a chocolate person. Chocolate is my favorite.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I added some unsweetened, like a chocolate bar, unsweetened chocolate, and a little bit more maple syrup.
I love it.
And that's what I did with that. Isn't that good?
Yeah.
So
you don't miss
no
sugar.
I know.
And you feel good you're not going to eat 20.
Yeah, and you don't feel guilty, or you don't feel like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. So there you have it. So, upcoming classes, not sure exactly yet what next week's class is going to be, but some upcoming classes will be on some recipes. Maybe I'll do a cooking thing, like a baking thing, I don't know. And then also some skincare products.
Oh, that's really
do that. Also some cleaning products, natural cleaning products. And I'll just show you that. This is just a small jar that I have. What I do, this is just a little tip. If you want to do it, save all of your orange, all your citrus peels. You can save, orange, lime, lemon, grapefruit, and put them in a baggie in the fridge, or put them in a jar. And then when you have enough, you just put them in the jar. If they're in a bag,
do you need to dehydrate them first or no?
Nope. Okay. Put vinegar and put it in the top. And this one, I saw a video that they put some cinnamon sticks in.
Wow.
So I thought, well, I'll try that. Here, let's see what it smells like. Let's smell it.
I can smell both the vinegar and it smells good.
Mm-hmm. So, and what
do you let that stay?
2 weeks. I do 2 weeks. They say you could do like a week, but I do.
But how long is it good for? Because you have fresh stuff in it.
So what you're going to do is, once this is done in 2 weeks, you strain it.
Okay.
Okay? And then you add half water and half this.
Okay.
Like, so if you use a cup of this, you use a cup of water. And I use distilled water for things like that, just because it lasts longer.
Okay. How long would you say those last, the fresh water?
Well, I use it all the time, so like, at least a month. I would think at least a month. I don't see why it wouldn't last 6 months.
Yeah.
So this is my bottle. I just call it all-purpose because that was on here, and I just use it and I spray it on my countertops, and I spray it if I have to wipe something off the floor, or my little table over here, the wood table. It's great for that. Great for,
I clean with vinegar naturally.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, no one likes the vinegar, because I even clean with it at work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so no one likes it, so.
So smell that. So what it does, when you put the citrus peels in, it actually reduces the smell of the vinegar. Mm. And it makes it easier, so when you clean your kitchen or your bathroom with vinegar, you don't smell vinegar all over the place. So that's what it does. Plus, having the orange oil or the lemon oil, it's great, So,
and this way is cheaper. So when I do stuff like this, I boil mine in a house for fragrance. Mm-hmm. Like I don't use the plug-ins and stuff like that anymore. Yep. Because I don't know if you ever read on like the Glade plug-ins and stuff, like it causes cancer.
Yeah, it's not good to inhale all that stuff.
You just have to research and do some research on it. So I do like boil like my orange peels and stuff like that.
Apple peels.
Apple.
With the cinnamon stick.
Yeah, so even if I have cinnamon sticks, I learned this that were going to be expired in the cupboard. I go over all my seasonings and stuff, and I boil them.
Yeah.
And I just leave it on low. So you can reheat it, add more water, and I just keep it going. And when I'm done with them, if I don't want it, I literally just drain all that stuff out and put them in the fridge and just reuse them.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I feel like it doesn't have any more sense.
Right.
Into it, then I just discard it. But I do reuse, like when I buy organic stuff, I keep the peels and stuff like that. And then you can dry out the orange peel and make your own organic orange tea and stuff like that, your own lemon tea.
Or potpourri.
So you can reuse the food you're eating and buying. You can use it to make cleaning products and stuff like that, so it still have life.
Yeah.
That's another way to just look at it. It seems expensive at first because you're like, where's all the bags for all this amount? But then when you look at the bigger picture of that.
Yeah. And we just use the, like as we eat oranges or, citrus fruits, and I use lemons and all, a lot of times I just, and in fact I threw lemon peels away and orange peels away today. I forgot to keep them. But, so you just, as you're eating them, you just keep them. So you're not wasting anything when, of what you're buying, and that's another good thing. And if you want, you could buy a glass bottle of, this is an organic vinegar, but I like the idea. I saw it online. You can buy an organic bottle of vinegar, and when you're ready to pour the vinegar in and you use the whole bottle, then you pour half of the bottle with this vinegar solution and then water. And you can put one of these, I have these online,
in there, and then
you can put it right on the bottle of the vinegar thing. You could take the label off and put your own label on if you want. And there you have a bottle, because these bottles are not cheap. And it's really much better to use glass than it is the plastic. So, and I've had these for probably, I don't know, a couple years now, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, they're very solid and heavy. I mean, as long as I don't drop them on my ceramic or my porcelain floor, I'm fine, But, it's just so much more economical, and of course, then you're not putting all that plastic into the landfill, and I think that's a good thing. So anyway, I think that's a wrap. And I will be posting what the next class will be next week, and what I'm going to be doing after. Let's see, that's class number 7. Then there's going to be one more class for this whole series. And I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to start up again. And what I did was I spoke to somebody who does social media marketing, and I'm going to probably work with him and just hire him to do my social media marketing, because I don't have time to do all that. It's very time consuming. So I'm going to do that. And his suggestion was that I tell my story, which I didn't really do. I touched on it a little bit here and there, but I think that's how I'm going to start out. So this way people will know why I'm doing what I'm doing, and they'll understand better why I'm doing it and why it's important. So, and there's a whole personal facet to all of this. I'm not just doing this because I didn't go to school for this, and it's not my job, but I have a passion for it because of what I've been through, and then what I see other people dealing with, and what I see the medical doctors and the medical field not being able to do for their patients. And there's a lot of wisdom in preventative. Not preventative medicine, preventative as far as strengthening your immune system.
What God created.
Yes. And so that's what this is all about. So, thank you for watching. If you're watching, thank you, Cassetta, for being here. And I hope you'll join us next time, and that we'll have some online people and some people in my home. And I don't know where I'm going to have the classes. I originally was going to possibly do them at Martindale, but that's not something that I'm going to be doing at this point. But we'll see where things go down the line, and figure it out.
As it grows, and different things call for different measures. So
yeah,
we're going to.
And maybe we'll have it at I don't know.
And sometimes you can
Canaries or something like that, just to get out.
And we can learn how to order off the menu. Just different things. That way we can live a blessed life, and
Or take this on the road. Go to Panera sometimes. Go to this place. Go to that place. And who knows? I don't know. It's just going to be.
Yes. The whole purpose, but the vision won't change.
Right.
Her vision will not change. It will still stay the same.
Yes. I'm cautioned to stay true to that vision that God gave me, and not to deviate from that.
But wherever we go, we're still good. We're going to bring what Miss Lisa's going to bring. That pull that the Lord pulled on our hearts to do. So that's still going to be the main focus.
Absolutely.
While having fun and living.
Yep. And I give Him all the thanks and praise and glory, because if it wasn't for Him, I would never have imagined that I would be doing this right now, or that I would care about what I eat and what I'm putting in and on my body. I was, just.
Sometimes we have to remember to thank God for those eye-opening experiences. That it not only did it pull us closer to Him, but it made us aware of the temple that He gave us. And that's why the bigger picture is just we're to take care of this temple. So I'm so proud of you, though.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Look at all you've done. It was Narissa.
No. I'm so proud.
And it's great that she's getting a head start.
Yes.
And that's what, if anybody has kids or grandchildren, give them a head start.
Yes. Because we have to unlearn to relearn.
Yeah.
And just be willing to understand that we don't know it all.
Right.
And when somebody has the information, we can just humble ourselves and go get it.
I don't know it all. Right. I mean, there's so much information out there.
You're so educated. You're more educated than a lot of us in a lot of things because of what you went through.
Right.
And you're teaching us.
Because I had to.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you're using that tool to bless others, to just let them know their immune system can help them.
And it can be strengthened. Yeah. No matter where you are. Yeah. And that is the hope that we have, and the hope that we have in the Lord is His Son, and what His Son has done for us, and giving us eternal life. And while we're here on this earth, we need to be able to live the life that He wants us to live. Yeah. And if we're sick all the time, and if we're dragging and we're tired, and what kind of life are we living, and what kind of example are we being to the next generation, or to our children or our grandkids? So if we're vibrant and we are strong and we are energetic, and as we age, we're still that way, and we slow down. We're going to slow down. I slowed down, definitely, but it's just an amazing ride that the Lord has had me on. So, yeah. So, thank you all, and until next time. And I hope that God blesses you this week, and and that all of our eyes are opened to what He has in store for us. Yeah. So, all right.
Yes.
See ya.